Have you ever wondered why the rich continue to get richer while the poor struggle to break free from their economic constraints? It's a curious phenomenon, isn't it? But it's more than just a curiosity. It's the reality of the wealth gap in America. Imagine a vast yawning chasm with the wealthy on one side and the less fortunate on the other. That is the stark landscape of our economy. And it's not just a static situation. Trends indicate that this gap is widening, not narrowing. We're not just spinning tales here. Renowned investor Warren Buffett once said, "The rich are always going to say that, just give us more money and we'll go out and spend more and then it will all trickle down to the rest of you." But that has not worked the last 10 years, and I hope the American public is catching on. Despite the gravity of the situation, it's crucial not to fall into despair. The wealth gap might seem insurmountable, but solutions exist, and they start with you. Understanding the wealth gap requires us to delve into its root causes. And there are a few key players in this drama of disparity. Let's start with the lack of access to quality education. Imagine two children, one from a well-off family, the other from a low-income family. The well-off child has access to high-quality education and resources, while the low-income child struggles to get by in underfunded schools. This disparity in education leads to a disparity in knowledge and skills, which in turn leads to a disparity in employment opportunities and income. Then, there's systemic discrimination. This isn't just about race or gender, though those are certainly significant factors. It's about the ingrained societal norms and policies that disadvantage certain groups. For instance, imagine a woman and a man in the same job, working the same hours. Yet, the woman earns less. This is a clear example of systemic discrimination. Wage stagnation, another cause, is like a treadmill. Workers are running faster, working harder, but their wages aren't keeping up with the cost of living. This stagnation makes it difficult for people to save and build wealth. Lastly, the cycle of poverty. It's a vicious cycle where the poor remain poor through generations. It's like being stuck in quicksand. The more you struggle, the deeper you sink. Without access to resources and opportunities, it's nearly impossible to break free from this cycle. As the famous investor Warren Buffett once said, "The rich invest in time, the poor invest in money." This quote perfectly encapsulates the wealth gap. The wealthy have the resources to invest in their future, while the poor are often stuck living paycheck to paycheck. By understanding these root causes, we can begin to strategize ways to bridge this gap. Feel like making a difference? Here's how you can contribute to decreasing the wealth gap. First up, invest in education. This doesn't just mean earning a degree, but also continuously expanding your knowledge and skills. As Benjamin Franklin once said, "An investment in knowledge pays the best interest." Education is the key to upward mobility and economic security. It's a powerful tool that can change lives and break the cycle of poverty. Next, support policies that promote income equality. This could mean advocating for progressive tax reforms that ensure the rich are taxed proportionately, or backing policies like universal basic income. Policies that prioritize equal opportunity and fair distribution of wealth can help level the playing field and bridge the gap between the rich and the poor. Then, advocate for fair wages. As Warren Buffett astutely noted, the rich are always going to say that, just give us more money, and we'll go out and spend more and then it will all trickle down to the rest of you. But that has not worked the last 10 times it's been tried. Instead, push for a living wage that reflects the true cost of living and supports a decent quality of life. You can also consider supporting small businesses in your community. Shopping local not only helps your neighbors, but it also keeps money circulating in your local economy. This can contribute to community wealth and help break the cycle of poverty. Lastly, remember to share your knowledge. As the saying goes, give a man a fish, and you feed him for a day. Teach a man to fish, and you feed him for a lifetime. By sharing what you've learned about financial literacy and wealth creation, you can empower others to take control of their financial future. Remember, every effort counts when it comes to bridging the wealth divide. Investment, the secret weapon of the wealthy, but it's a weapon we can all wield. It's a time-tested strategy for building wealth, a powerful tool that's not just for the affluent. What's the magic behind it? Compounding. It's the snowball effect where your earnings generate even more earnings. Think of it as a seed that grows into a mighty tree, bearing fruits year after year. Now, you might be thinking, I don't have a lot of money to start with. But here's the thing, you don't have to be a millionaire to invest. With as little as the cost of a couple of coffees, you can start investing in stocks, bonds, or mutual funds. Remember, the earlier you start, the greater the potential gains. As the great Warren Buffett once said, "Do not save what is left after spending, but spend what is left after saving." Investing is not just for the rich, it's a tool for everyone to build wealth and bridge the gap. The wealth gap in America is a daunting issue, but it's not an insurmountable one. Let's remind ourselves of what we've learned. We've recognized the reality of the wealth gap and understood its complexity. We've explored practical steps to help decrease this divide, like improving financial education and advocating for policy changes. We've also underscored the power of investment as a tool for wealth generation. Remember, every journey begins with a single step. Your individual actions, though they may seem small, can contribute to a larger change. Whether it's investing wisely, sharing your knowledge with others, or supporting policies that promote economic equality, you're making a difference. You're part of the solution. As the old saying goes, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago, the second best time is now. Let's take that first step, together. The wealth gap didn't grow overnight, and it won't disappear overnight either. But with understanding, action, and persistence, we can start to bridge the divide. And until next time, subscribe and leave a comment down below.